What's good, Josh Barley? Back at it again with another video. And today I'm going to be showing you the 2 trades that I took in order to make $2,000 today, day trading. Let's get to it. All right, so this is the 8 o'clock candle from today, right? You can see on the x-axis, January 22nd. So let's go one candle before that at 7 a.m. So it closed at 8 a.m., right? So at this point, I come to the charts about 30 minutes before the market opens, and I mark the beginning of today, and I mark the beginning of yesterday. Boom. So once I do that, I mark the previous day's high. Okay. And then I mark, got all this stuff down here. I mark the previous day's low as well. So let's just delete all this stuff right quick. Bow, bow, bow. All right. So I've got my previous day's low down here. And yesterday, you can see that we were very bullish, clear uptrend. And coming into today at 8 o'clock, we broke above the previous day's high, closed above it, retested it, and got this bullish engulfing candle right here. And price was still clearly moving up, so I'm bullish on the 1 hour, and was also bullish on the, so this hadn't happened yet. It's also bullish on the 4 hour, because you can see from yesterday, clear uptrend, and price made the high right here, and it closed above it, also giving a bullish engulfing candle on the 4 hour, right? So I come to my 1 hour time frame, back down on my 1 hour time frame, and I go to 1, 2, 3. All right, and I mark from my low point before we broke this previous day's high all the way up to this high right here. Okay. And I like to look for fair value gaps and imbalances, which a gap is just a series of 3 candles, and it's a space between the first and the third, right? So let's just do these 3 candles right here. Okay, so 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle. The space between the first and the third is at the top of this candle and at the bottom of the third candle. So that's a gap. And then there's another 3 candle sequence, first, second, third, right? So there is at the top of this green one right there, and the bottom of this green one right here, it's also a gap. And then if you come to the 4 hour time frame, candle sequence, 1, 2, 3. There's a gap right here at the top of this red one. Boom. And this move down hadn't happened yet, and that's the trade that I took it off of. That's the level I took the trade off of. So let's go back to this 1 hour. And up here, price was up here at 8:30, right? So my mindset is I drew this range to show you that, I want to look for areas to buy when things are on discount. So imagine this is a market, and the prices of something goes from here to here. Anything between that low and that high, I want to get it at a discount, right? So if it's above that the 50% level of that range, then that's just all premium, and you're paying top dollar for the trade or whatever. And if it's below the 50%, it's considered on sale. I want to buy things when they're on sale and then sell them at a higher price, right? So automatically, I just delete these. It doesn't mean that they can't bounce off of these levels, but I'll delete them just to clear my charts and have a clear idea of what I want to do. And I was a little skeptical of taking this trade at first, just because when the market opened, it actually created a bearish engulfing on the way down, and usually that's not a good sign for buys. But I took my first trade here at this level around the 314, and my stop loss was 264, 264, a 50-point stop loss, and then my 1-to-1 was at 364, so 50 points, risking 50 points. So my 1-to-1 is going to be plus 50 points. So that was at 364. I draw my line, and then I raise my profit target to the 2R. And I was a little skeptical of this trade just because I normally like my price targets that are within the range, right? This is a little bit outside of that range, and I'm asking a lot for price to come down here and then bounce and break the high of day again, right? But I took the trade, and let's see how it played out. So let's come to the 5-minute time frame, so you can have the zoom in on the microscope, and so you can have a better view of what happened, right? It's like watching a NBA game at courtside versus when you in the nosebleeds. That's when you're looking from the higher time frame, like the 1 hour and the 4 hour. Different time frames serve different purposes. All right. So wait in, and the market opens at the close of this candle. So this next candle, this is when the market opened, and you'll see, boom, how big that candle is, how volatile it is, right? So it opened right here, it went up as high as here, came down, went into a significant drawdown, and then price bounced back up, right? It bounced back up above my entry, and we got some movement upwards. Almost hit this 1R right here, and then came back down again. At that point, I was like, all right, might stop out, might stop out. We went even lower in the drawdown, and then price bounce. You see how perfectly price bounced off of that previous day's high? That's what this red line is right here. PDH, previous day's high. Look at how perfectly it bounced off of it. And also notice it's a retest of previous highs, right? Just a little retest. See, price rejected here, rejected, broke above it, came down. Now this rejection area turned into support area, bounced, came down again, bounced again. And you can see price went up, hit my 1-to-1 target. At this point, I moved my stop loss from all the way down here to right where my entry was, so that no matter what, I won't lose money on the trade. And then let's see what happens. Came close to it, pushed up, and then price ran into equal highs up here. You can see price ran into equal highs up here. So we got this rejection right here, rejection again. And then look how close we were to my 2R target. Look how close. We were really, really, really close. And then price rejected that area and just fell back down. And it stopped me out at break even. So that was my first trade, right? That was my first trade. So I entered it at 8:30, around 8:30, and exited around 9:30. And let's go to the top step right quick. Just reload the page, and I can show y'all the execution on it. Any day now, any day now. All right, boom. So you can see January right down here, right? January 22nd at 8:32. I entered that trade and I got out at 10:03. Right? No, that was the entry time. I got out at 9:31. You see right here. Entered at 8:32. Exit time 9:31. Entry price 44,314. Exit price a little bit above it. So my stop loss got triggered. Ended up making $12. I consider that break even, right? So that was the first trade that I took. And then you can see the second trade was at 10:03. So shortly after, it was at 10:03. And then I exited at 10:53. Ended up making $392 per account, right? So let's get into that second trade. So after I got stopped out here, I came back to the 1 hour time frame. Boom. And I was just looking to see, all right, well, we got stopped out at break even, and I was just waiting for that 10 o'clock candle to actually open, right? And once it opened, I was willing to enter the same trade again if it reclaimed my entry, right? If it came back up here, I was going to get back in that same trade. But then I looked below and I was like, all right, so what if it keeps going lower, right? What would be my next entry? So my next entry was from the 4 hour time frame, right? Which actually lined up with the 1 hour. So this big green, well, this striped green line is from the 4 hour. That's that gap that I drew at the top of this red candle, right? So the high of that is 44,270, right? And if you come to the 1 hour, it also lines up. It's another gap, right? Shrink that. The gap series of 3 candles, 1, 2, 3. There's a gap right here, but then you can see it came down and didn't quite fill it, so we moved it. Came down again, didn't quite fill it, right? So we moved it again, and it aligns with that 4 hour time frame. So I was thinking right here, all right, we're retesting the previous day high. We already bounced off of it. The 4 hour and the 1 hour are still in an uptrend. Stocks are starting to reverse. Stocks that are in this index are starting to reverse. And I got the 4 hour and 1 hour point of interest stacked on top of each other. So just wait, like I said, I was waiting for that 10 o'clock candle to open, and then price came down here, and that's where I got my second entry on the day. So let's delete this, delete all this. Boom, and let's go back down to that 5 minute. Let's go back down to that 5 minute bow. And I set my stuff up like I normally do. Entry at 270, 50 point stop loss. So my stop loss was at 220. Boom, come on, get it perfect. And then my 1-to-1 is 50 points above my entry. So around 320. It's my 1-to-1. And then 50 points above that will be my 2-to-1. All right. So let's see how price reacted once it triggered my entry. Price came down. Boom. It bounced up, closed above my entry, got a nice little movement up, went into drawdown again, and then it filled the final gap within this range. So let's come back to this 1 hour right quick. And this, you can see the close of this gap is where price bounced from, right? And it's the last gap from the low to this high. Let's go back to that 5 minute and let's see, it bounced from that level and then made a move up, hit my 1-to-1 right here. And at that point, I moved my stop loss from down here to right above my entry. So that way, no matter what, I wouldn't lose on that trade. And then had a nice move up, a little bit of consolidation, and then ended up hitting my profit target for number 2. And that's where I got out of the trade at 370, right? A little bit below that because it was stalling around and I was not playing with them because it was being volatile. So I got out at $392 in profit per account. And so yeah, the entry was at 10 o'clock on this 10 o'clock candle, and the exit was on this 10:50. So let's check out the execution. Entry time 10:03, exit time 10:53. Entry price 44,270, exit price 44,368. Like I said, it was a little bit below that 2R, and I made 392. So that's the 2 trades that I took. And if you just do quick math right quick, 392 times 5 accounts, it's around 1960. And that's how I made around $2,000 today. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Just wanted to come on here and show the trades that I took today. And yeah, hopefully you got some value from it. If you are a new trader, then you probably got a little lost in the sauce, but it's okay. Ask me any questions that you may have about what I did and why I did it. And if you have any feedback, if you are a trader already, an established trader, and you got some feedback for me, let me know in the comments so I can get better. And yeah, we're gonna come back tomorrow and try to make some more money. Gonna follow the same routine that I did today, and I might lose money, might make money, I might break even, but we'll see tomorrow. And that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed the video, you got some value from it, let me know in the comments, leave a like, all that good stuff, and I will be back with another video at some point. So yeah, peace.